Think about the last massive crisis your company faced.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm willing to bet your leadership spent weeks, tweaking processes, changing reporting lines, or just reprimanding staff.
Right. The usual fire drill.
Exactly. But did anyone actually map the invisible machinery that was churning out those exact failures? Today, we're doing a deep dive into some really fascinating notes on organizational design and systems thinking.
Yeah, and the mission here is pretty simple, really. We want to break you out of the symptom treatment trap.
Because it's a trap we all fall into.
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We obsess over fixing behaviors because, well, behaviors are visible. You can see them. But there's this brilliant diagnostic lens from Carl Jung that we can actually apply directly to business.
Right, the quote about fate.
Yeah. He wrote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate.
Man, that just reframes every quarterly review I've ever sat through.
Seriously?
I mean, how many organizational failures get brushed off as, tough market conditions or bad luck or difficult staff? We call it fate. But the real issue is just a system that nobody has bothered to map.
Exactly. Because organizations project this very clear conscious identity above the waterline. That's the polished customer promise, right?
The slick advertising.
Yeah, the slick ads. But below the waterline, down the organizational unconscious, that's where you find the reality.
The broken stuff.
Exactly. Misaligned incentives, unexamined assumptions, broken daily operations.
So let's make this concrete. Consider like a logistics company in Nairobi.
Okay, good example.
Right. So above the waterline, their marketing promises next day delivery with a smile. But below the waterline, their dispatch software crashes every day and drivers are, financially penalized for traffic delays.
Wow, yeah.
So the company projects this bright, sunny image outward, but they refuse to confront the operational shadow they cast internally.
Right. And when that shadow inevitably causes a crisis, the default reaction is just single loop learning. You see the problem, you treat the symptom.
But wait, treating the symptom is sometimes necessary, isn't it? I mean, if I'm managing a Nairobi sales team that just consistently misses targets, single loop learning tells me to, retrain them, right?
Sure, or adjust their commission structure.
Right. Set new daily quotas. You can't just sit in a room pondering philosophy while revenue is tanking.
No, of course not. You absolutely have to stop the bleeding. But single loop learning won't cure the patient.
Right.
I mean, if you retrain the team and they still miss targets, you need double loop learning. You have to ask the deeper structural questions.
So you stop interrogating the sales rep and start interrogating the system itself.
Exactly. Are we forcing a premium product onto a budget-conscious customer segment? Is the core value proposition just fundamentally flawed?
You're auditing the underlying logic that makes the failure inevitable. But practically speaking, how does a busy manager actually execute that? The concept makes sense. But when you have, 50 angry drivers in the yard or a board demanding numbers, how do you map an invisible system?
Well, it requires a really specific intellectual discipline. It's one that was actually perfected at the University of Cambridge.
Okay, color me intrigued.
Yeah, people like Isaac Newton, Charles Darwin, Alan Turing, they didn't just collect mountains of data. Turing, for instance, he didn't simply describe one specific calculating machine.
He abstracted the fundamental idea of computability itself, right?
Exactly. They were trained to find the absolute minimal structure underneath massive complexity.
Okay, but Alan Turing is great for a textbook.
Oh.
Translating abstract Cambridge philosophy to a fast-paced Kenyan startup feels like a stretch.
It sounds like it, but it's actually intensely practical. Applying this means you stop running passive workshops.
Thank goodness.
Right. You stop just gathering anecdotal complaints. You get a whiteboard and you literally map the feedback loops.
Defining the inputs and the environment.
Yes. You look for the smallest set of rules that explains the biggest range of outcomes you're seeing.
So you're basically building a working model of the dysfunction.
Exactly. And it mirrors the famous Cambridge supervision system.
How so?
Well, in that academic model, you don't sit passively taking notes from a lecturer. You're forced to derive and test theories from the inside out. You have to defend your logic every step of the way.
Contrast that with how most corporate strategy sessions go, right?
Right.
A leadership team sits there passively while some consultant presents a shiny slide deck of recommendations.
Yeah, and they just accept the symptoms and the proposed bandages.
Right. But a team that actively maps its own broken system actually owns the reality of the problem, which means they own the solution.
Exactly. Shakespeare actually captured the essence of this perfectly in Julius Caesar. He wrote, The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves.
Man, that's powerful.
It really is. Persistent, glaring problems in your organization. They aren't bad luck. They're the perfectly logical output of a system that just hasn't been examined at the structural level yet.
So, like, if your organization is ready to do that deep structural work, the team at aCatalyst Consulting builds exactly that kind of systems thinking capacity. You can find them at www.acatalyst.co.k.
Yeah, finding that root cause is really the only way to stop fighting the exact same fires every single week.
Totally agree. So we'll leave you with this final thought to mull over. Identify the most persistent, unsolvable problem in your work right now.
The one you keep blaming on the market or on fate.
Right. And ask yourself, what if your system is currently designed to produce exactly that result perfectly?